If you're having Marvel problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ain't one. We're going to talk about the first 99 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the 100th coming up to this Friday. Almost said tonight. That would have been a lie. We're going to talk about Jessica Jones Season 2 on Thursday. We're going to get a little recap from Jessica herself, maybe here in studio. We'll find out. And maybe, if time permits, we'll even take a look at Cloak and Dagger. Marvel TV Weekly starts now!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Look, it was either this or 99 red balloons. I couldn't really decide, and I decided to go with this. Welcome to Marvel TV Weekly. We're going to talk about Friday's episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 99th episode. I hope everybody's caught up on that show. I don't know how anybody could not be caught up on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I wonder.
I don't know how anybody could spend time not caught up, but I, for one, am caught up on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so we will talk about that. I think you can't just call it S.H.I.E.L.D. You have to call it Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In any case, I'm Christian Bladt. You can find me at ChristianDMZ, joined, for those watching on YouTube, my left, your right, Kari Lane.
Hey, how's it going? You guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
And across the great divide there in the desk, the one and only Michael Shirley.
Hey.
X marks the spot. Where do people find you?
Hey, muties. You can find me at Michael X Shirley on Twitter and on Instagram.
I like that.
And
Shirt is hot.
on the other,
I don't think I've seen it.
that's true. This is a great shirt.
I was all damn.
And at the other end of the desk, it is indeed Jessica Jones herself. We had to pry the bottle of, was it Southern Comfort or Jack Daniels? I don't remember. Well,
yeah.
Probably one of each in each hand.
right?
Yeah, we got all the brown liquor away from Jessica, but you look suspiciously like Amy Cassandra Martinez. Are we able to give your Twitter, or are you still all messed up now?
I fixed it.
What is it now?
It's all everywhere. Amy Cassandra MTZ.
MTZ. All right, so it's back, because I was worried. When we talked last week, it was a real cliffhanger for the people that don't remember.
It was touch and go there for a moment. But
anyway, Amy, now I know that you are binging Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the slow way, much of the way that Fitz got to the future. You're going the slow way.
What?
Well,
She doesn't
Oh my
if you don't look, if you're not caught up on season 5,
No,
that's on you.
I totally understand. But now there's nothing preventing me from catching up except time. Because now
and look, Jessica Jones is about to premiere.
How do
so
you
that's
feel
gonna be-
about it now?
Yeah, where are you at in the show?
I'm still on 2
Okay.
because I was watching all the Oscar-nominated films and I did get through 54 of the 59. I was very proud of that. That's what I was doing.
I want to know what are the
Thank
5
you
you didn't watch.
Why does everyone want to know
Because
that?
my guess, it's going to be Call Me By Your Name, Get
No,
Out.
no.
It's going to be all the...
No, I for sure saw those. It was 3 foreign films, Marshall and the Florida Project.
Yeah, I've heard the Florida Project is terrible.
They're freaking out in the chat about
What are
the
they...
fact that you've got up.
Look, I said it was going to happen, chat.
I'm so happy for
Several
you.
people really like the title of our video this week.
Well, look, we're here to do a service for the fans of Marvel TV and movies, despite the people that don't think we should talk about the movies, which there's a big movie announcement for us to talk about. We just try to have fun, but I'm very excited for where we're at in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Looking forward to the 100th episode. Kari and Michael, have you both seen episode 99 from Friday?
I watched it this morning.
Okay, and Michael, did you see it? Because when last we spoke, I was ahead of you. I had watched more episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D. than you had.
Yeah, that's right.
I had literally watched one episode more than you.
Yeah. I was waiting until this morning. I wanted to be fresh on my mind.
There are
Kari, eyes up here.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm like, is she naked?
Shirt. Yeah, I've got a really rad shirt on, you guys.
It's actually a great shirt. Yeah, you'll have to.
I'm like,
You'll have to Instagram out that shirt a little later, and your Instagram is also Michael X Shirley.
Yeah, it
See,
is.
It's all about streamlining.
yeah,
and
my
keeping-
shirt. I got Spider-Man. Mine is not quite so.
Oh well, if we're talking about shirts,
Stunning.
I've got the good Wolverine costume, the brown one, not the stupid yellow striped one. I've got the real Wolverine costume.
Our offshoot.
Yes.
Yeah, which is very
our
exciting.
Secondary brand,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, which that's hidden somewhere
That's
under
hidden
there.
down here.
Down below. Yeah, forgot.
All
That
right,
was
back
a
to
secret.
Agents.
All right, back to Agents of
It's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
okay. Yeah.
So we're
There's
gonna.
one more thing I want to say.
Oh, yeah,
about,
from the chat.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Someone wants to see your favorite man come back, Ward.
Oh, come on. Why would they say that? Why would they say that?
Illuminati Jones Jr.
Illuminati Jones Jr.
Soul Illuminati Jr.
Look,
Like,
you know,
Soul Illuminati.
we got to see Ward in season 4. That was fine. All right. You get enough Ward. All right. And we got to see Trip. That was good too. But you know who we don't need to see again? Ada.
Oh, please.
Every time every
today?
time they mention her, and they've mentioned her a couple of times in this season, and I'm like, no,
like,
don't
no.
do it. Don't do it.
I would say we should be spoiler.
Well,
Okay.
so
No,
we should.
no.
Whatever.
Yeah, by the way,
okay.
no one has an excuse for not being caught up on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's an outrage if you're not caught up on this show.
I was really
Yes.
I'm
upset
with you
when I
guys.
watched it.
We can do it.
Yeah. What were you
Okay.
saying,
I
Michael?
was really upset when I watched this.
There's
Oh,
something
yeah?
really upsetting. Yeah.
Um,
You know, we'll do a light spoiler. Let's just say that there's a character on the show that we can only call Yo now. We're gonna have to.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Okay.
Spoiler alert!
I was very upset when that
That was
happened.
annoying because that felt like purely okay. Without spoiling it, just
Well,
felt
it's gonna
like
be really hard to not spoil it. So.
no. You could just say what happened. It just felt so much like we're just gonna drive the plot to connect to the other timeline, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
this is like this just felt like a plot device to move forward. Though I'm like, really, was that necessary? But the twist of who somebody is, I was pleasantly surprised by that.
That was interesting.
That was
I
good.
thought,
I was surprised.
because the way that the
Yes.
episode starts, we see sort
Yeah.
of what we think is, you know, basically a mom and her, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
teenage daughter is accurate, but that sort of personality. And then we realize, like, oh, there's a lot more at work there. Not a fan of the general lady though. Like when she showed up earlier in the season, I was like,
yeah.
oh, we were gonna get more of her, weren't we?
Yeah.
But look, it was great to see the gang back where they belong.
Yeah.
And
Illuminati Jones wants Ada back too. Sorry.
Ghost Rider, he's absolutely right.
I just keep.
Yo, I see. He says
admitting
he
that.
wants Ada, Ghost Rider, Bobby, who is on the Orville, so she contractually could appear in one episode per season. That's how it works. You can guest spot on another network show, so that's the most you'll get. Hunter was back this season. I mean, that was great. That was fun seeing Hunter this season. Although I admit, at first I'm like, oh right, Hunter, because when you don't see him with Bobby, you're just I don't know. It took me a second. Lincoln, I don't know about that. Anyway, so Solomon Naughty
I told you.
Jones Jr. Star Drew wants us to use all the spoilers. So somebody in the chat needs to voice their aversion to spoilers. If you don't want us to do spoilers, you should say something.
No one cares. So in the future,
Yeah.
Yo got her arms removed and she was being like tested on.
We thought it was her being tortured.
Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By-
Which is good. They think that.
Yeah.
But
By Cassius,
yeah,
Yeah.
we see.
who was a great character up until the last scene that he was in. Anybody who takes that iodine
and
or
go
whatever.
crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, that's
yeah.
They went to
The
Ada
alien
acting school,
drugs.
you know, where all of a sudden it gets bigger, and it
His
was too
accent
good.
changed.
Yeah, I thought he was actually a really interesting character, you know.
He was really interesting. And,
And-
have you seen him without makeup?
No, I have not. I thought
Totally not what I
didn't realize that
expected.
was makeup.
He's
I just
actually-
assumed he's that, you know, he only had a little bit of the white around the blue.
He's
so.
a rather handsome-looking gentleman, and not what I expected.
So you're saying that blue gentlemen can't be handsome?
No, he can be, but I always
Maybe
wondered-
everybody's right about you.
Well, I did like that as
God.
it went on. That I was curious on how he did the decorative, the white.
Oh yeah.
Because then I'm like, wait, are they born that way? And then I'm like, no, because the other three don't have it, and he just does it as decorative. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of work every day.
That
It's like
yeah.
an alien dandy.
Well, I think it'll show you. I think it'll show you how much time he had there
Yes.
on his exile.
Well, he
yeah.
probably had someone do it for him anyway, so he probably didn't do it himself.
Yeah.
Makeup artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Michael, your thoughts on Friday's episode and what we've seen so far in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Gosh.
We had
It
10
made
full
me
episodes
so
in the future.
sad.
Yeah.
So sad what happened this past episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me so upset. I think it means I liked that episode, maybe.
Made you
like-
feel
I do have
something?
such strong feelings about it.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping she's going to come back bigger and better than
I
ever
agree.
with yo-yo hands Like,
I mean, you know, Phil Coulson
She's
needed
like,
a new hand. You
That's
know,
what I was saying.
yeah.
I'm
that's
like,
what-
there,
that's
it's
the
not
first thing I thought of.
impossible.
and Dove Cameron, that I was not expecting.
Which was that?
At all.
She's the girl, the general's daughter. In the
Oh,
beginning of the
that
episode.
was yes.
That was well
'Cause
done.
I've
Yeah.
only seen her in like very like kid friendly things,
Mm-hmm.
so I was really shocked by her character, and I hate her. And at first I thought
I like her better than the general.
at first I was thinking maybe she's gonna be like some kind of Spider-Gwen something because she's voicing Spider-Gwen in Marvel Rising. So I was like, maybe they're gonna tie this in some
Yeah.
weird way and make it like, because with the new Spider-Man Homecoming, I don't
Yeah.
know. But then we find out very quickly that's not gonna happen at all. But as for S.H.I.E.L.D., as of 99 episodes,
Yes.
I do like the show. I know you think it's very slow.
It's just the slog of watching 22 episodes in this day and age. You know, most shows, your network shows are 22 episodes, but so
They
many things
should
that you watch.
probably be.
A 12.
I mean,
Yeah, they should be cut in half, or they should be 30-minute shows.
we live in a time where even the show 24, the last time it was on, even that didn't have 24 episodes. You know what I mean? So if the show about how every hour is supposed to be real time for a
my
whole day,
gosh.
even if that show
You
got
gotta
cut back to
ruin
12.
it for everyone.
Well, I'm just saying, 22 episodes is a lot. And, you know, Amy, I mean, you're still living in season 2 because you could have watched like
It
35
takes a lot of
episodes.
time.
Yeah, it
It
does take a lot of time.
I do think the way they split them up now into like kind of like 3 story arcs is
Yeah.
That's
better.
much smarter, yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Because
like that, and
it
feels
allowed
more
me
like a
to
comic book.
it allowed me to bail right after Ghost Rider and not watch the show for a year. So that worked out really well.
But this season's, would you agree that this season's very
Yeah,
engaging then?
this one's been good,
a good
because it's
season.
different. And
Yes.
you know, I think one more week in the space station in the future, the lighthouse, I would have been like, okay, enough. And I
No,
think
they ended
at the
good.
right time. Whereas with the
It just
framework in
seemed
Ada,
a lot longer to you because like you hated watching it.
well, I just hated Ada so much. That's what it
I
was.
love
But,
Enoch though.
Enoch was great. Rest in peace, by the way.
Enoch's
It
amazing.
doesn't surprise me like him.
What?
He's not
Because he's so white?
you.
Oh, why?
Just he reminds me kind of like a character that I would see on a lot of shows you would like.
Oh,
That's
what,
interesting.
what kind
Like
of?
he
I was
reminds
gonna
me
say,
of
is
someone
that
you would see,
I
like,
can't
on
tell.
auditions.
I can't tell. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I can't quite tell which shows,
Very
but
I'm like-
clever. It wasn't an insult, Jesus. Like,
Well-
No, I was just curious then too. I'm like, what shows? Yeah, no, he's very funny. He's quirky.
Quirky, yeah.
But I like the new one that was there, which
I didn't. I
Really?
was like,
Well,
oh, I liked him.
he's too
But
strict.
Don't get
I
to know
think
him.
he's
well, I like he
done. Yeah,
goes.
I think he's
Enoch is
done.
was a little too restless.
Dude, that was funny.
that it's like yeah, obviously you were able to notice that
Yeah.
Enoch is a real hellraiser. I
Yeah.
know that's not what he said.
Yeah.
So it was. I don't know. It was good to have everybody back back on Earth, and I like that there were the
and
moments.
the addition, the other person who's not wouldn't have been there otherwise.
Who shouldn't be there? Well,
Yeah.
we get
I
there.
like
What-
that too.
What I liked sort of when they're in the VW microbus
Yes.
and they're sort of reflecting on all the terrible things that have
Yes.
happened to them. It's kind of
It
like a
could be
nice thing,
worse.
right on the verge of your 100th episode. It's like yeah, you could be at the bottom of the ocean, or you know, or Hive. Hive. It still gives me hives. But special credit to General Rick Stoner, played by Patrick Warburton, who was like the projected
Oh,
voice.
yes, that
Oh
was
my
funny.
gosh, I adore him.
Patrick Warburton
when I
in
saw
general?
him as Rick Stoner, I was like, that is so funny.
So,
'cause he's
yeah,
so
and-
like 60s, like in just the way he is.
And the name Stoner was obviously fun as well. Noah was the name of the Enoch, the chronochrome. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever
Kodachrome.
Rick Stoner was the original Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He was supposedly he took over after Peggy Carter. Chronologically.
Chronologically.
But there's some retcon stuff, you know.
We did have some fun stuff in the episode, though. Like I said, where they reflected, and contrasted by the fact that there was some very not fun stuff in the episode.
Oh, the drinking beer was very funny.
Well, you mean this is our friend from the future.
Yes.
Deke is his name. Is that how we
Yeah.
say it?
Dude, I liked how he was when he saw a tree for the first time.
That,
Oh,
was
yeah,
great.
that was great.
And he hugged the tree. But then when he just didn't like beer, and then the guy just gives him Zima, and he pounds
That was
like 10
funny.
Zimas. At some point, Amy, you're going to see this, and you'll be like, oh, I remember them talking about
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah,
they say she
it's gonna be
really
soon.
loves Quake, which I don't think she loves her. I think
Oh,
she
no, I think
hates
she's
her.
obsessed with Quake.
Like in a bad
They're
way.
I
still
think she's
calling her
obs-
Quake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dove Cameron's character whose name is Ruby. Is
I
all
want to
we're
say
really-
she's obsessed because she wants to fight her.
Yeah, she don't
Yeah.
want to be her friend.
No.
No, she maybe wants to
She
kill
wants
her.
to, like, kill her.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know. So it was there's a lot that's set in motion, and the preview sort of for next week for the 100th episode is like, all right, so some shit's really going to go down next week, and it's only an hour. You'd figure like they could go with 2 hours for the 100th episode. But especially after a month off, but no, it's all right. They want to make it easy for me to not fall behind again, so I appreciate
I've been
that.
They're doing
wanting
it for you.
A new character,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that we do have this kind of new girl to hate. But
Yeah.
I was kind of more hoping for like a new character on the good guy side.
But they
And I
might get
hope
one.
it's not Deke.
Oh, you don't like him?
He's such a geek.
He's such a dud. I don't know.
He's all right, but yeah, I mean, it's like
He's no superhero.
You-
I want
you-
like a big name.
he's like, just in terms of what he looks like, he's like poor man's Bradley Cooper, and then in terms of his character, he's poor man's Star-Lord. I mean, you're just like, all right, yeah. So, but he's
I
all right.
thought of those. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'd take either of those.
But I loved when we got Yo-Yo, and we haven't really seen a new team member since her.
Yeah.
That's
I'm ready
true.
for a new one.
Well,
With powers. Yes.
Yeah.
we had the director who pretended to have powers. We had him for a little while.
That was kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I
The
did
guy
like
from
him.
Heroes,
Was he from Heroes? I just remember him from the.
the general or whatever that got shot in the head.
No, not him. The
one who pretended he had powers and then he dies in
the framework.
In the framework because he's trying to hold up the building.
Mace, I think was his last name, and he was
Forgot him.
he was the
He
lead.
was the all-American guy.
Yeah, he was the lead in the American version of Life on Mars, the British show. I forget the actor's name, but so he was a new team member, and when last season started, that was the whole like, oh my God, it's a new director. Nick Fury's not the. I mean, not Nick Fury, but Coulson's not the director.
That guy.
That guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, well, don't get too attached to anybody on this show, Amy. That's what we're getting at.
Oh, Trip.
Well, Mr. Warburton's like
But-
from the past.
Yeah, so
we
he's
don't have to
already
worry about
he's already R.I.P. So I don't know, what do you hope to see in the 100th episode? Because it's been a long road, and there are a lot of indications that the show will end at the end of the season. They're definitely preparing for it. They're at least
Really?
well, because every year there's a good chance that the show would not be renewed because it doesn't get huge ratings, but because it's part of the extended Marvel universe.
Maybe that's why Ming-Na Wen and Chloe Bennett have jumped over to Marvel Rising.
But that's just animated, right? So they could
yeah,
just do
but
both.
It's still a job.
It's true. It's true. They do need a job. And what we'll leave as a spoiler. There is some concerning news about Phil Coulson that we got while they were in the
Yes.
future.
She's like,
No.
Well,
What?
he's
I
already.
am
What?
so annoyed that he keeps like, yeah, you should get checked up. No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
He's like, we're like, just go see
That's
a
been the
doctor,
thing
Phil.
since like
Sick.
season 1.
Well, yeah,
There's
exactly.
a new problem he gets that they're
Oh,
like, you should
yeah.
get checked out, and he's like, I'm fine.
He's
I'm
like, I'm fine.
Tahiti's a magical.
It's a magical place. Yeah, but
Or it's not like that.
it's not like that.
It's just annoying because
So-
you're like, can we just have Gemma be like, we're gonna look right now.
Yeah, we'll just see.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I don't
Just
know.
leave it
It's
to
that.
Gem. Like, wait. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so let us know in the chat what you would like to see happen in the 100th episode, and
I'd like to see an agent from the Avengers like pop through, for,
Like-
even just like 1 minute.
like anyone from the
Kobe's.
Avengers.
anyone.
Well, Kobe
Smulders.
Smulders has been on.
Oh, she doesn't count.
Yeah, but-
no, like Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, that's not gonna happen. She's a movie star.
She's
So
working
I'm
on
always
Black
gonna
Widow.
I'm always gonna go with my default.
Samuel Jackson was a movie star.
Used to be. I'm gonna go with my default Falcon. Maybe Falcon will show up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. I would love to see Falcon.
That'd be fine.
Not Ant-Man though. So his movie's coming out.
Maybe Jeremy Renner.
That's true. All right. Let's see.
See him.
Okay.
But for the 100th episode, it would be great to, but we don't even see Nick Fury in the movies anymore. He's like,
I know.
he's
like
the
I
forgotten
said,
man. Used to be. Well, maybe snakes on a plane too. But anyway, so we're excited. I'm excited. I did have to really kind of plow through the show because of how many episodes I had. I do like the show. Look, if I didn't want to keep watching the show, I wouldn't have. I just would have been like, you guys talk about it. But I like all the characters who are on the show now. Different points in the show's history, maybe I didn't, but now I like everybody's on there.
Yes.
And
I don't really care about Mac.
Really?
I think Mac's there for comic relief. I like Mac. He's
Come
not
on,
my
his
favorite.
reference to Chud in the episode.
I
But he
like
always
Mac.
talks about Chud. Like he always talks about
I know, but
80s
it was
horror
funny
movies.
now.
It was
of
funny.
like,
That's true.
Well, I like Mac because Yo-Yo likes Mac.
well,
but-
they're a really good couple too.
Power
Like, They're
couple.
Oh,
The Agents of Shield power couples.
I, like,
Oh, no.
really like.
What? Do we ruin everything for you, Amy?
No, it's just that because I know who they are.
Because you went to the set for the 100th episode.
Yes, but now it's like all aligning.
It's all coming
oh,
together.
that sucks. Oh, man.
and by the
yeah,
way,
like
Amy,
him and her.
speaking of which, your one of your videos from your visit to the
Oh,
Agents of
yes.
Shield set
That's what you were
for the
talking
100th
about.
episode.
Yeah.
Where can that be found?
That can be found on AfterBuzz's YouTube channel that's dedicated to red carpets.
To red carpets. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So I want to watch that, but I don't know. Is it going to spoil episode 100 of Agents of Shield?
It's not because they couldn't tell me much at the time.
Yeah.
But they're really fun, and yeah, it's just one interview, but it's solid gold.
Who'd you get to talk to?
Quake?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Just
I'm
checking.
sorry. Jed Whedon and help me please,
Oh,
Marissa
Marissa
Whedon.
Whedon. Yeah, that's how you say it.
They were both so sweet, and yeah, it's on the channel's called AfterBuzz TV, Red Carpets, Junkets, and Events. So it's right up
Cool.
there. So yeah.
Eon001 says to Michael, Mac, the one character that's the most relatable. Jiren the Grey says, Mac is awesome.
For me, when Mac was ready to stay in the framework.
Yeah, it was.
For me, I was like, I'm done with you. You're a traitor.
Yeah, that was. that was
that's
rough.
when it happened for me. He never really bothered me. But then I was like, you're a traitor. I mean, everyone
Well,
else is more dedicated.
Well, that just means you're giving up. That you're taking
No.
this fake world versus a real one.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's
That is
crazy,
like,
but it's
I've
a
seen
world
Black
where
Mirror.
it's a world
No,
where
yeah.
But you don't want to do that.
it's a world where he got to know
Yeah.
the daughter that he never really had.
But it wasn't. She didn't exist.
Well,
In the she didn't exist in like any timeline. So it was just,
Sort of.
well,
sort of.
Yeah,
Well,
but, like,
eventually.
Yeah.
Whatever. Why do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
That's
guess
my thing.
that's
for Mac.
that's your thing on Mac.
I don't know. I don't trust him enough. Without Yo-Yo, it's
Our friend Soluminati Jones Jr. says the relationships in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. aren't forced, unlike Supergirl and Arrow. Apparently, those are shows in some other universe that I don't watch. There might be a show where you can talk about those shows. Anyway, so I think
it's
that
very campy, those shows. Like the relationships.
I've
you know,
actually
like,
watched it. I watched a few episodes of
love you
Supergirl.
No,
too.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. relationships, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, and look, we have the Fitz and
Simmons.
Simmons relationship is really at the crux of the show. I think without them,
What face are you
love-
making over
they
there?
they
They're
just
so sweet, even from the first freaking episode.
yes, that's true. I mean, it's true. It'd be
They
fun
come
to,
a
Kinda set up to
long
love
way.
I do know some things, I think,
okay.
that I overheard.
Oh, you were a spy on the set, a snoop,
Ah.
which I like to hear. All right, so that's where we're at, and we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna stay on top of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., doggone it. I'm not gonna fall behind again. But if you want to hear more talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the AfterBuzz Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show is Sundays at 5, and you can find it there or just find it archived on this same channel. The what are we? Superhero, sci-fi,
Fantasy and
magicians, really tough girls who drink channel. By the way, speaking of really tough girls, want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life? For those who do, have we got a podcast for you? Conversations with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition, is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder, Maria Menounos, and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career and relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you never had. I never had a big sister. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Did you catch that? For free! Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us who got you there. That's right. Tell her it was Marvel TV Weekly that got you there. Conversations with the Maria Menounos Podcast Edition. Check it out. We love Maria, so make sure that you get more Maria in your life.
She has great guests on that show, actually.
She does.
Yes, because I've been on that show once or twice.
Oh, yeah?
Talked about the election last year. Anyway, but, you know, that's just me. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ, but whatever. Trump Report Tuesdays at AfterBuzz TV. Now, Amy, for those watching on YouTube, they've probably noticed you are the only one of us that's really in costume. And it is so hot in the studio today.
He's so toasty.
That we're glad that we're not dressed that way, but we appreciate you because you're a trooper and you're representing your favorite, would you say, Marvel TV show?
Yes. The Marvel TV show, yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, you really don't sound
Yes.
convinced.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Thinking about it.
Yes. I also
Yes.
feel like my eyelash is about to pop off. Is it right here?
Don't worry about it.
No, okay. Okay. But yeah,
That
yeah.
happens when you get roughed up like that.
That's
I
right.
know, guys. These are real. You should see the other girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was it Patsy?
No.
Okay,
We're
good.
cool for now.
All right. It was Rosario
yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
It could have been. All right, so Amy, the reason why you're dressed up is because, as we mentioned, by the way, Jessica Jones season 2 apparently begins streaming on Thursday, and I thought that the Netflix shows were always on Friday, so it's a day earlier than I expected.
man.
I won't really be able to watch hardly any of them because my dad's going to be in town, and I don't think he wants to watch it with me. So,
What?
I'm going to
No.
get a few in, but I'm not going to be. When Jessica Jones season 1 happened, I watched 10 episodes that first day. I am not going to be able to do that this time.
We'll see. And
Oh,
that
how
day.
many are there?
13, right?
13.
There's always like 13, yeah.
See,
I mean, it was at 22.
yeah. That
So-
day was November 20th, 2015. So think of where
2015.
you were.
I know exactly where I was. I was
Watching.
home and I was watching that, and my son was like 4 months old, so it was really easy to just let him lay there, and you know, I didn't have to keep him entertained. He couldn't eat food yet. I just had to give him a bottle, and you know, maybe he's subliminally learned some things from Kilgrave, so that's probably going to be a problem long run. But that's all right. For right now, it's okay. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to catch us up to speed
Yes.
from season 1 of Jessica Jones, because it was that long ago. It was not quite a year and a half ago, but 15 months ago, 14. somewhere in there.
839 days.
839 days.
Yes.
Now, see, I like that. I like that you did the math.
2 years,
Good for
3
you.
months, 16 days.
Oh, it was 2 years. Wow, yeah, what did I say? I said a year and a half. I was
Yes.
way off.
15.
Wow. That's a long time between seasons. All right.
They
So,
had those 4, and they were just pumping out one a year.
right.
Well,
right.
yeah,
And then
there's
they had the
other one,
Defenders,
yeah.
and Daredevil's the one that's sort of consistently, come back quickly. All right. So we have plenty of time. Don't feel
good.
rushed. And, we might stop and comment on some of the things
Okay.
because it'll remind us of season 1.
Yeah.
How
But
much we love it.
all right. Well, some of us,
You
some
say
of us
that
really,
with so much excitement.
some of us enjoyed it, Michael.
Yes.
But
I
anyway,
like Iron Fist. Screw you guys.
I love Iron Fist. We talked about that on
yeah,
our
we're
very first
making
show.
faces too. We're like,
That's
I
all right.
like Iron Fist.
Yeah, well, that's all right. All right, but he's not in this.
No.
So we'll
No.
talk about Jessica.
So I hope you guys like this recap. Here we go. Okay. So we start off, we meet Jessica Jones. She's a private investigator. Despite her appearance, she's very thin looking. She is super strong, but she's got some issues. So she's an insomniac and she's an alcoholic. I didn't fully commit to that role today, although you don't know what's in
We
this
don't.
mug.
That's a good point.
She does have PTSD from her traumatic past, which we get to later. Her hobby is spying on people from her balcony, including Luke Cage.
I mean, I'd be interested. I'd want to know what he's up to.
Right, me too.
Just saying.
So Luke owns a bar. She steps in it. They talk. They get it on. this is the first of many times they get it on. Woohoo! Woo! So she feels bad because she sees a picture of his deceased wife, and then this is like a little moment in the show where it's like, ooh, she knows something. She will in the future. We meet later a Midwestern couple looking for their daughter, Hope, which is very symbolic. They have hope. They're going to find Hope. And they're asking for Jessica's help. Jessica's doing research, talking to everyone that she had talked to before Hope talked to. They end up taking her to a restaurant. So they say, oh yeah, well, we saw her with this guy and she was obsessed with him. They went to this restaurant. Okay, so then she goes to the restaurant. She talks to an employee there. And he says, oh yeah, it was super weird. She was with this guy. He kept ordering us around, telling us what to do. Dun, dun, dun. She's like, I know who this is. It's Kilgrave. So she has a little bit of a flashback, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's the same restaurant. So then he must have taken her to the same hotel that he took me to. She goes in there. She goes to the room. Bam, it's Hope. She's alive. She's kind of okay, but she can't move because Kilgrave told her to not move. So Jessica has to forcibly remove her from the room. She gets her back to her own apartment, to Jessica's apartment. And Hope seems to be fine, like she's cool. And she is reunited with her parents. But then when Hope is leaving with her parents, which I totally forgot this part, the elevator doors are closing and then Hope takes out a gun and she's like, poof. She shoots her parents.
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because she was still under Kilgrave's control.
Yeah.
Did you say like you have to kill?
It was
Did
just,
we get the reveal or of what specifically prompted that?
she shoots them and she starts
Yeah.
crying, and then Jessica's like, crap, like it wasn't over.
Yeah. But we never got to hear the...
It's not.
Like the don't move, yes, but we don't get the like...
From him, no.
Okay.
And it's interesting as we see throughout the course of the season, because you'll see people that Kilgrave told to do something and then they end up like walking into a wall, but they haven't been told to stop, so they just keep walking and things like that. So there's a lot of, yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because Kilgrave from the comics and also here on the show, I mean, it's this bad character, Purple Man, in all honesty, that they turned into this, just fascinating character.
Oh, David Tennant is amazing.
And he did
Spoiler.
he did a
Haven't
great
gotten
job.
there yet.
That's all right.
Just kidding.
I,
Yes.
well,
oh my
see,
God,
this
he's so
recap
good.
is for people who have seen it but have
Yes.
forgotten. Now, we don't think anybody should skip straight ahead to season
Don't,
2.
guys.
Yeah,
No.
that's right.
No, I mean in my like 12 pages of.
That's all right.
I
Okay.
wasn't there. Okay, so Jessica visits her lawyer that she works with. Her name is Jerry Hogarth. She tells her she has to take Hope's case because she was innocent. She was mind controlled by Kilgrave. So Hogarth thinks that's really crazy, but she's like, fine, whatever. Just prove that it's true, and yeah, that'd be fine because that's an interesting case. So then Jessica starts thinking about the last time that she saw Kilgrave, which was the night of a bus crash. So Kilgrave got hit by a bus, and then Jessica assumed that he was dead. So then she was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm going to check the records. She can't find anything on him, but she does find something about Reva Connors. And she's the other woman that was hit by the bus. Dun, dun, dun. That's Luke's deceased wife. And that's when we get that information. So then Jessica tracks down the ambulance driver from that night. Turns out he's on dialysis because Kilgrave told him to donate his 2 kidneys to him. How crazy is that? Like, just reliving all of that, I was like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
So Kilgrave was conscious during the surgery because he didn't want to lose any of his mind control. So the doctor said that. And Jessica wants him to come and testify and say, hey, like, Kilgrave's psychotic. He's mind controlling people. So then Hogarth takes the case. We get an intro into Kilgrave's power. So we start seeing him. He goes into this one house with this couple, and they have like 2 daughters, and he's like, hey, feed me, like, take me in. They take him in, feed me, they feed him, and he doesn't like kids, so he tells the kids, go into the closet, and one of the girls really has to go to the restroom. She pees her pants just because she has to wait there. So it's like oh my gosh, they really can't do anything. Like they have to do
You have
what
to
he
do
says.
what he says, yeah.
It's just you just do it.
Unless you get kind of away from him. Like if you're physically...
There's a radius. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
and it's a whole virus thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Luke Cage breaks up with his girlfriend because he found out from Jessica's pictures, because again, she's a private investigator, that she's married. So the husband of the girl that Luke was seeing comes and tries to beat him up, but Luke is very, very strong. So it's like, you tried. And then somehow Jessica gets in there. Then they start helping each other fight the bad guys or whatever. And then like, dang, you're strong,
All right,
you're
so
strong.
because we only have 10 minutes left, I just want to sort of, I should have gone to you first because
my
I
God.
didn't.
I can
we had
speed it
We
up.
had the text exchange. I was like, like,
I know.
So I didn't know that this was so thorough. Maybe you don't need to watch season 1. You could just listen to. You just listen
I
to
mean, you
Amy's
would
recap.
have to tune in to us, right?
Yeah.
I'm appreciating it though.
Because
like,
I forgot a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot
but I
of
also
stuff.
see what time how much time we have.
Speed
Oh.
it. I can speed it.
All right, so let's hit the
Main
let's hit
points,
the
big
bullet
points.
points, yeah. Because I want to talk
Are
about
there
two
things
other
you
things.
starred?
I didn't start anything because I thought everything was
Because the whole show was a big star.
It was. Okay, so you should know that Hogarth is trying to get a divorce from her wife. She's currently sleeping with her assistant secretary person. Jessica has a neighbor, drug addict Malcolm. He's
Oh,
cool.
yes.
But he's not that cool because he ends up spying on Jessica because Kilgrave said, "Hey, spy on Jessica for me." Trish. So Trish is Jessica's BFF. She knows about Kilgrave. She goes on her own show, starts talking. She has a radio show. She starts talking about him in a bad way, and Jessica's like, "No, don't do that." She puts herself in danger. Kilgrave tries to kill her through other people. This guy named Wilson. Then we see that Kilgrave is stalking everyone pretty much. Then Wilson tries to help them and say like, hey, I will help you guys. Let's try to take Kilgrave down. Doesn't really work. Stuff happens. It eventually comes to light that Kilgrave made Jessica punch Reva, who's Luke's deceased wife. And so then she tells Luke it's this whole thing. Kilgrave buys Jessica's old house. And so he's living there, and he basically, well, no, that's later. So brother and sister, they're neighbors to Jessica, and the brother becomes a little bit obsessed with Jessica. I feel like that's the whole thing, like obsession. And then he goes to try and give something to her. Kilgrave is there, and he dies. Kilgrave murders him. So then Jessica's like, you know what? I'm going to take the fall for this so then I can go to the prison, and then people will be able to monitor me and then see that Kilgrave has powers. Malcolm's like, no, that's stupid. Don't do that. So then next we go to Kilgrave wants to be with Jessica. He loves her. So Jessica's at the precinct, and he's like, no, you know what? I love you. I want to be with you. She's like, no, you're crazy. That's stupid.
And at this point, also, we realize she can resist him.
She can resist him, yes. Then, so then they go to her childhood home with him. The cop from before that wanted to help, he's there. Then we end up finding stuff about Kilgrave's parents, that he said that they were putting him in danger, using all these different things on him, like that they were mad scientists, but they're not. We come to find out later. I'm trying to hurry up.
Where do we leave off in the story?
Well, no, like I'm almost done.
I doubt it.
So, you should know also Hogarth's soon-to-be ex-wife gets murdered in a way. No, yeah, she gets murdered by the secretary. So Hogarth's ex-wife, done.
Is secretary do of her own free will?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, see, Kilgrave's not behind everything.
He's not. No, he's not.
Want to double check?
And it's great because Hogarth and Trish, we get all these characters in the other shows as well. So it's sort of nice to see them, kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. This is where we first saw them. This was the beginning of their story.
Okay.
So let's sort of jump kind of
Yeah, where's
ahead.
the last
This
thing?
Like sort of like
this
the
is
very
it.
end.
This is it.
Go to the last page.
So, well, okay. Well, they tried to take down Kilgrave, and they can't. Kilgrave's mom ends up stabbing herself because he says to stab herself. And then Kilgrave ends up killing his dad after he gives him this, like a serum kind of thing to make him even stronger. So then at the very end, the last scene that we see, they're at this marina because they're by a boat. It's this whole thing. And so Trish is a decoy. She goes down there with headphones, which is like, you kind of think, dang it, they should have tried that earlier, because if you can't hear him.
I do remember thinking that when I watched it. I was like, yeah, why don't you put some headphones
Right?
on? Yeah.
Right?
The dumbest thing about the show.
So then the whole mob of people, they jump them. They then Kilgrave says, kill each other. They start to. Then Jessica's like, please stop. And then Kilgrave says, everyone stop. And then she stops. So then you're thinking, crap, like he has the control of her again. He tells Trish to come and like be with her. And then he's like, you know what? I think you're just pretending, Jessica. And she's like, I'm not. Okay, well, what if I tell Trish to do this? And she's doing it, and it's fine. And then he gets really close, and then she grabs him, and she's like, ah! Basically, no, I was pretending. She snaps his neck. And that's the last we see of them. Luke is also introduced to Claire through Jessica at the hospital, which we see Luke Cage, all of that, Defender's Ball.
So
Yeah?
the end result is we get to the point where Kilgrave is killed, and there are rumblings that we may or may not see him again in season 2.
Yes.
Which
Made a
I
good point. It's
believe.
probably flashbacks.
I believe that it could be sort of, and somebody in the chat made this point. It's kind of like in Legion, where the Shadow King kind of inhibits an area of your mind, because he dealt in mind control. There could be a little Kilgrave left, so Jessica might be seeing him. That could be a great way to explain it, or it could also be flashbacks. But that was what I was thinking. I think it'll be good to see him, but it'll be interesting to see who the actual villain is for this episode. Somebody in the chat referenced that it could be Nuke, which was a character that we basically had to kind of rush through. That was somebody's boyfriend. Was it Trish's boyfriend? Who dated the
Will.
guy? Yeah.
It was Officer Will Simpson.
And that was
He
Trish's
does-
boyfriend?
Yeah,
Or-
that was Trish's boyfriend, but he doesn't. He dies kind of, and then
Kind
these
of.
like special cop people come
Yeah.
and they take him. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
so
see him
we'll
again.
see him again, and
I'd
that's
like to see Purple Girl.
Purple Girl, whom I remember being a member of Alpha Flight, the Canadian superhero team. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't exist. What would be interesting is if she's actually purple,
Because that
as
would
opposed
really
to.
bother Jessica to find out he left a daughter, and she'd probably, in some weird way, want to take care of it.
See,
Yeah,
well,
that's a
and
great point. Yeah.
Hope had his baby, and so
So that could be
she
the
did
Purple
have
Girl.
a baby. Yeah.
Well, but not actually purple.
Maybe I've called it.
Maybe you've seen season 2 already. Anyway, Amy, sorry that we had to
No,
kind of
it's
rush it through it, but
fine,
we
it's
appreciate you taking the time. And some people in the chat were like, "Well, didn't we all watch this?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but as you pointed out, it was more than 2 years ago." And you were talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't remember
I don't
that."
have time to rewatch it all.
When season two drops, there'll be a here's what happened in season 1. We won't get that much detail. So anyway, that's why
Good
we
job,
did it
Amy.
You're
as
welcome,
a service to
guys.
you.
You're welcome.
So thank you,
You're
Amy.
welcome, everybody.
One final thing I want to talk about. Well, two things. One, Infinity War is going to come out a week earlier in April
Who
27th.
does that?
Marvel. because they
Marvel,
can do
did you
whatever
see
they want.
that on
Anyone
Twitter?
can.
It was like, hey,
Yeah, I actually thought it was a mistake when I first saw it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great. So now the summer blockbuster season starts in April. Great. But I'm super excited for that movie, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. But that was the big news I wanted to talk about. What I also want to mention is my personal pet peeve. Last night's Academy Awards, Logan did not win for Best Adapted Screenplay. However, in the credits was mentioned characters created by Len Wein and John Romita Sr. And the reason why they are given the credit, and for those watching on YouTube, we'll have Anthony show you, the first appearance of who was then known as the Wolverine from The Incredible Hulk number 181 was written by Len Wein and drawn by John Romita Sr., the cover. So they get the credit for creating a character who that is not the character you get in the Logan movie. I would say maybe Mark Millar, Brian Michael Bendis. You could give credit to anybody who worked on the Old Man Logan. The idea that they could have won an Academy Award, good for them for work that they did in like 96. Oh, I couldn't believe when I heard the names. Of all the people involved in creating the Wolverine character, Len Wein did this, Giant Size X-Men #1, and I don't believe he ever wrote a Wolverine story again after that. So no, I did not feel like he deserved the potential credit for that. So I was very upset, and nobody else has.
He was like a teenager when they first created him. He was supposed to be like the age of like Scott and Jean.
Yeah, the idea that he's older came up after the fact, and the claws were supposed to be in the gloves. He was just, he worked for the Canadian government. There were a lot of things that changed.
The Mountie.
he was indeed a Mountie. Anyway, but if Logan had won an Oscar, that would have been amazing. And I probably would have still made that same point, but I would have been happier about it because, but anyway, that's not the way that it goes. The comic book movies, it's like, other than Heath Ledger as the Joker, it's hard to come up.
Someone's gotta die.
Yeah, well, that's really what it is. Anyway, we mostly stuck to S.H.I.E.L.D. and Jessica Jones this week. And you know what? When we're back next week, those will both be on the air. S.H.I.E.L.D. and Jessica Jones. I hope to have watched at least 3 or 4 episodes. I will not be done by then, but make sure you stay tuned to find out where the Jessica Jones after show will be. I don't know, Anthony, I hate to put you on the spot, but do we know anything about the Jessica Jones after show?
We will definitely be covering it. I'm not sure in what sort of a format we're going to be doing it, but we will definitely be covering it. It's too big of a show to not cover. And yeah, for sure, we just don't know. I don't know personally when the date is for that.
Check your local listings, as we used to say in the old days. Anyway, well, we will be back to talk about all of that. I'll be very excited to talk about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 100th episode. Sorry, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 100th episode. But until then, thanks to everybody who enjoyed the show and joined us in the chat. You can find me at ChristianDMZ on Twitter and Instagram. Carrie, where do people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me online at Kari D. Lane. That's Karidlane.
Michael?
You can find me at Michael X Shirley on Twitter and Instagram, and on Thursdays on the Project Runway After Show.
Jessica?
On all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ.
All right, well, we will see you next week. And until then, Excelsior!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.